Hey guys, Coach Brian back with you at Strong Tower in our top 5 series. I'm excited to talk to you today because there's really going to be some hidden gems in what we talk about as far as breathing techniques. So everybody knows that we breathe. If you're alive, you're breathing, of course, but how well are you breathing? And can you increase respiratory competency? The answer is yes. It's a trainable skill like a lot of other things in the brain and body. We're actually going to talk about a little bit how breathing affects autonomics, and it affects autonomics like your immune system. And of course, everybody's concerned these days about the immune system, immune function, and we can actually train that a little bit too, which sounds bizarre, I know, but stick with me. There's research behind it. So first drill is air hunger. So if you're training with us, you've done this, you know that we talk about air hunger and we utilize it as an amazing tool to help you with stamina, help you with endurance. And what this does is puts you into a state of hypoxia. So we're basically messing with blood gas levels a little bit to make the brainstem and some other areas, your respiratory system, more resilient. And so what we're going to do is exhale about 80% of your air. So after breathing in, we're going to exhale 80% of your air and start exercising. Of course, I always want to get checked out with a healthcare provider, make sure that you're cleared to exercise and this stuff is safe for you, you're in general good health. But they're also using it in special populations. So if you look up hypoxia on Google Scholar, you'll find a bunch of cool research on things like high blood pressure, diabetes, some other issues. So under medical oversight, some really cool things are happening in those special pops as well. So we're going to exhale about 80% of your air, assuming that this is safe for you. And then we're going to start doing some lunges. So I'm going to do lunges today. You can apply this to squats, push-ups, a lot of different strength exercises, whether it's body weight or using some external loading. So basic lunge, I'm just going to step forward and then come back. After exhaling 80% of my air, though, then I'm going to hold my breath. The need to breathe develops, of course, as you can imagine. And what we want is fairly quick recovery. We don't want to push it to a point of being silly, of course, ever. You don't want to see stars. You don't want to get dizzy, lightheaded, that type of thing, of course. But you want to push it up to a point where you feel that need to breathe. Maybe it's slightly uncomfortable. And then you also want to be able to recover fast. So part of the purpose of this is that we're training a fast recovery, actually calming the heart rate back down, calming your breathing back down. The second exercise is diaphragm stretch. So we're actually going to help stretch the diaphragm. Really important area to work, especially people that have had midline surgeries or injuries. So again, assuming that you're safe to exercise, you're not like a day or two post-op. We're talking about like more like months, years after an operation. It's an important area to retrain and make sure that's functioning at its best capacity. So we're going to go ahead and take a tailbone tuck, hard tuck in the tailbone so my low back is gently pressing into the floor. I'm going to reach my arms up towards the ceiling. From there, I want to take a deep diaphragmatic or belly breath. So I'm going to breathe in, trying to fill up the rib cage. And then I'm going to exhale as I reach. Arms overhead. My mouth is open, and I'm breathing out through the mouth. So as the arms go overhead, the shoulders relax. I'm maintaining that tailbone tuck all the way through this motion though. At the end, I really want a hard exhale. More of like 100% exhale. So if you think you exhaled all the air out, you actually want to push a little bit more out and really maximize the exhale. That's actually where you might feel a little stretch in the rib cage or the low back, and that's that diaphragm actually stretching a little bit. It's going to improve respiratory capacity sometimes because muscles that can contract and relax all the way are just going to function better. And then drill number 3. So what we're going to do with this one, this is where the immune system, there's a study with some of the students from Wim Hof's breathing method where they actually created a stronger immune response after being injected with an endotoxin. I can post the link to that study. It's really interesting. And they actually got a stronger immune response and very minimal symptoms after being injected with something like a flu virus. So super interesting. this is just one of the methods. There's multi-parts to what they practiced, and they did train going up to the research study. So don't hear me say that you should just jump into using this in some crazy way like that tomorrow. Probably not. These are trained individuals that had trained in this breathing system. But basically what they did is fast inhale, exhale. So pulling air in and out as quickly as possible and as full as possible. So I'm going to say maybe we do 10 today. They worked up to, I believe, like maybe at least 30 repetitions where they were doing 30 of these fast inhale, exhales. If you did that without training, you might hyperventilate and might get lightheaded and get some weird kind of symptoms. So maybe start with 5, maybe start with 10. We're going to do 10. And then on number 10, after the inhale, we're going to do a breath hold. So we're moving from a state of hyperventilation or hyperoxia into hypoxia, or a lower oxygen set with the breath hold. And what this does is it stimulates your immune response. It stimulates release of epinephrine. So actually kind of crazy, right, that we can play around with immune responses and autonomics like this. But let's go ahead and go. So we're going to go in through the nose, out through the mouth, 10 times, really nice and fast. If you did get lightheaded at all, you want to stop, of course, at that repetition. On 10, I'm going to hold my breath. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to finish the breath hold. So you can be here for 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. Some people can go well beyond that, but we're moving from that state of hyperoxia, oversaturating with oxygen, to hypoxia, or undersaturating with oxygen. And again, the way that our respiratory system drives hormones, epinephrine, and then immune response really can create some remarkable effects. So the fourth one that we got is a mononasal breathing, which sounds really weird, like maybe some of these other ones, but that's okay. Breathing is important, and training your respiratory system versus ignoring it is critical for optimizing your health. So in some research, they've seen that breathing through the right nostril tends to be more activating. So if we're getting ready for a workout, we're getting ready to move. One example, so we could either close the left nostril manually with a finger, or we could like grab an earplug and use it as a nose plug. Kind of cool, right? So we can then do kind of fast, almost like little burst breathing into that right nostril, and then slow exhale. If you're feeling a little sleepy when you're watching this video and you want to test this out, do maybe 4 or 5 rounds of 4 fast sniffs in through the right nostril. And I'll take the earplug or nose plug out. It's not a booger, it's a nose plug. So that would be more stimulating right nostril. Then if we go to more calming left nostril, so again, just switch that guy over. You can then do more calming, slower tempo breathing, and practicing that through your left nostril. And that tends to calm things down. So just a quick takeaway on improving sleep. Sometimes if we sleep on the left side, we're not optimizing sleep. We sleep on the right side, we're actually going to encourage more flow through the left nasal, left sinuses and nasal passageways. So that can help actually calm things down, get us more in a parasympathetic state, maybe help with deeper sleep. The fifth drill is another calming one, and this is just a basic tempo breathing drill. We're going to breathe in for 3 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, and then out for 7 seconds. So 3, 5, 7 drill. We could do this laying on our back if we wanted to really kind of maximize that calming effect. You could prop your feet up on a couch or something, also to shift blood flow a little bit. So I'm going to breathe in for 3. Deep breath into the rib cage and the abdomen. Hold for 5. And then out for 7. Again, in for 3. Pause for 5 if possible. And then out for 7. If it's too tough to do that tempo, you could go in for 3, pause for 3, out for 5 type of thing. So I hope those are helpful. Thanks for jumping in on our top 5 series. If you have questions about any of the research that I mentioned or anything else, questions, concerns, please do drop those in the comment section, and we'll be sure to touch base with you and respond to those messages. Thanks so much.